Hey folks, welcome. It is Eric Zellick, your flipping landlords expert. And this might sound a little strange, but you're about to discover how just by helping landlords locate tenants in your marketplace, you can create additional income and maybe even fire your boss using this simple real estate strategy. But before we get started, congratulations on one of the most important decisions you've made so far this year. I know it doesn't seem like much, but showing up on this web class was a move that I believe will change the course of your future for the better. And I mean that. I want you to understand how fortunate you are, and I want you to understand that as you hear the sound of my voice right now, there are hundreds of thousands of people who want to be right where you are. And I want to congratulate you for joining me. So let's get started. First off, I want to start by giving you a free gift as long as you stay to the conclusion of this web class. I'm going to be handing out my free Flipping Landlords checklist. This Flipping Landlords checklist is to assist you with getting started with flipping landlords. It will allow you to mark off exactly the steps that you've completed in the flipping landlords process so you know what the next step is and you know if you've missed anything. Myths of real estate. To get started, I'm going to debunk a couple myths that are out there about making money in real estate. You may be a person that believes you need a real estate license to rent out properties, but all you need is a copy of my 2-page real estate contract for landlords. And in a moment, I'm going to show you how to access this contract before the end of this web training. You also may believe that you need millions of dollars to invest in real estate. I was taught to believe that myth growing up, but what you're about to learn is going to put that myth to rest once and for all. And before this training, you may have been led to believe that you need excellent credit to make money in real estate. Well, today I'm going to talk about a method that my students use to make money in real estate where they do not use any of their credit or cash at all. I grew up, just like many of you, thinking of going to a school, getting a fantastic education. A college degree is the key to the American dream. But the thing is, most millionaires and billionaires never went to or even finished college. However, they have college graduates working for them. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you some case studies of students of mine that invest in real estate without any college degrees. You may also think, because you are still paying rent every month, that you're not ready or worthy to be a real estate investor. That's what I call stinking thinking. And if you're the type of person that thinks like that, by the end of this training, your belief will totally be changed. One of the best things I love about this business is that you don't need any experience while getting started. All you need is a system and a mentor that will teach you and lead you down the right path. Have you ever wondered or asked yourself why others in your area are making money in real estate, but you're not? It's not because those people are superhuman or exceptionally smart. It's because they're using a proven and tested system that gets them results. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you a system that's going to save yourself time, energy, and money. That is the acronym for system. My system is going to help you automate your business, creating efficiencies and saving you time, energy, and money. It's going to create more time to help you get ahead with the competition. With an extra 10 hours a week, you can leave your competition in the dust. They won't even be able to figure out how you're getting so much done, and they won't even have a prayer of catching up to you. My system's also going to give you more time to have fun. If you work hard, you deserve to play hard. Imagine having an extra 10 to 15 hours a week to spend with your family, or go to your kids' games, or to hang out with your friends more often. Some of you have been trying to figure out how you can create more time and to put more towards making a difference in the community. So many times we want to become involved in something, maybe volunteer at a community center, volunteer as a coach, or mentor a child. There are so many important issues that need to be addressed, but we're so busy trying to make a living, trying to keep a roof over our heads, that there just doesn't seem to be enough time left over to do these things. Now imagine the difference you can make with having an extra 10 to 15 hours a week to yourself. You know, more time is the obvious net result of efficiencies in a system. It only makes sense that you would want to make the best of your time. Well, my system is set up to create logical efficiencies in your business, giving you quality results with minimum effort. And more importantly, You or anyone you plug into your system, as in this flipping landlord system, will help you get results right away. So if you look back on history, it always repeats itself. Every time there's economic turmoil in this country, huge opportunities present themselves. If you look at the two pictures on this slide, one is of the most recent Occupy Wall Street movement during the Great Recession that happened 2007, 2008. And the other is the protest that took place during the Great Depression. Many of these people lost jobs, homes, investments, and money during these tragic times. However, there were many people who did not protest but started businesses and took advantage of the opportunities to help make a profit with a business. During the Great Depression, companies like Hewlett Packard, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the board game Monopoly were created. People also capitalized during both economic meltdowns and made millions in real estate. These millions were made through the opportunities such as the one you are learning about today. I want to go over real quickly the amazing opportunity and the benefits that you'll be taking advantage of with flipping landlords. You don't have to worry about any leaky toilets, chasing down rent every month, managing contractors. Essentially, these are all the property headaches that come along with being a landlord and rehabber, things that you will not have to worry about. One of the biggest hurdles that I find is that new investors, have problems with their time. After learning my system and implementing my methods, many of my students that work full-time jobs, they put an extra 2 to 4 hours in daily after their job into their business. And then after several months, they wound up going full-time into the flipping landlord's business. With the economy still fighting to get out of the Great Recession, many property owners are becoming distressed sellers. And with our country, that was on the brink of the next housing crisis several years ago, it caused many investors who purchased homes to rehab not to be able to sell them. This created an opportunity to help these people rent their properties out to tenants for profit. And after attending my training, which you are doing now, and learning my system, which you will be learning, you will be able to apply cutting edge methods and strategies that can put you in a position to start receiving checks in the next 24 hours. Also, as I mentioned before, no startup capital is needed. You're not going to be borrowing money from the bank. You're not going to be going to your friends for loans. You're simply going to apply the simple methods that I am teaching you today and that you'll learn through my flipping landlord system to make money in real estate. As you know, there are more investor buyers than ever. There are folks coming from other countries into the United States to buy property. Folks from Canada, folks from China. They're all coming to America to buy properties at a very discounted rate. And a lot of them are applying the simple purchase, rehab, and hold strategy. As you're also going to learn, there are tons of properties in your backyard that are vacant and landlords are looking for qualified tenants for. And I'm going to help you and assist you with showing you how to assist those investors to fill their vacant property with a qualified tenant while you getting paid in the process for a simple 2 to 5 hours worth of work. Also, you will be receiving checks or cash within 30 days for assisting these property owners with filling their vacant properties. Again, you're not going to be waiting for a title company to do a lien check on a title or waiting for an investor to get funds from their hard money lender or their bank. You're simply going to be working with cash paying tenants or tenants that work every day or have vouchers and working with property owners that have vacant properties. Now, a question you may be asking yourself is, well, why flipping landlords now? Well, I was taught early in my real estate career that documentation beats conversation. And so what I'm going to do now is provide data to back up the information that I'm providing in my Flipping Landlords web class. As you can see, this is data from the American Community Survey that shows that 35% of Americans are renters, meaning over 110 million people in the United States rent. Don't you think you can help one or a couple thousand of the 110 million looking for vacant properties? The information also shows that 37% of all homes are occupied by renters, meaning there are 43 million properties in the United States that are renter occupied. Don't you think you can rent out a couple hundred of those 43 million properties? I definitely think you can because I do it all the time. Also, more documentation. This is from census.gov, information right from the government. Recession proof. This table right here shows flipping landlords is recession proof. We're going to get into a little bit later how you get paid, but essentially you get paid the first month's rent. And look at the average asking rent for vacant units in the last 20 years. Last 21, 22 years, I apologize. Also, in the gray area, that's when there was the economic downturn. As you see, 2001 to 2002, rents boomed. They went up. Rents have been going up the past 22 years. Late 2007 through mid 2009, you can see rents still went up and maintained steady. So this documentation right here shows you the flipping landlord system is recession proof. I want to get into some numbers here. This is my 2014 numbers that have been exported from QuickBooks to Excel for my accountant. As you can see, 2014, I grossed over $140,000 from flipping landlords. All right, over $140,000. Now I want to caution you, there's about $2,000 in here each month that I made from property management, which wasn't flipping landlords. Still, if you take away $24,000, that's still over $120,000 I grossed from flipping landlords. Now, mind you, I also have other businesses. I just mentioned property management. I also do wholesaling. I also have my own rental properties. So I have 4 different businesses in real estate, and just this flipping landlords one, I grossed over $120,000. Now you may think 2014, oh, you got lucky. You just made a lot of money one year. Here are my 2015 accounting numbers exported again from QuickBooks from my accountant. I separated my property management company from my flipping landlord's business as my accountant advised me to. As you can see, I still grossed over $110,000 from flipping landlords. So I just want to show you, if you put your mind to it, if you dedicate yourself, if you do this full time or even 20 hours a week, these are the type of numbers that you can achieve or surpass in your business. So I want to get into a couple articles. This one is from Business Insider, a reputable magazine, in the United States here. And it says, rental market is on fire. And I quote the first paragraph. On Tuesday morning, we got the latest report on rental and homeowner vacancies from the Census Bureau, which showed that rents are soaring and vacancies in the U.S. have plummeted to the lowest levels since the mid-'80s. Second paragraph. And so it looks like much maligned millennial generation is moving out of their parents' apartment and into apartments or rental homes as they look to get themselves settled before buying a home. It's real, folks. The market is on fire. People want to rent. There are over 40 million properties in the United States, and we're getting more information into that. Next article from the Wall Street Journal. I mean, we've all heard of the Wall Street Journal. It doesn't get more reputable than that. Big landlords to merge betting on rising rents. This article talks about Starwood Waypoint Residential Trust and Colony American Homes. These, you may not have heard of these companies, but combined, these companies are now going to own and manage over 30,000 houses with a combined asset value of $7.7 billion. That's right. So if these companies that have assets, their rental properties have assets of $7.7 billion are betting on the rental market, why wouldn't you? I was recently watching an interview on CNBC where Warren Buffett was asked where he would advise people to invest their money in this new economy. Does everyone on the webinar class know who Warren Buffett is? Great. Well, his answer was, if I had a way of buying a couple 100,000 single-family homes and had a way of managing them, I would load up on them. Shortly after that interview, he started the residential services company Berkshire Hathaway. Now, if Warren Buffett is advising folks to purchase rental property, I think this is a wise decision based on Warren Buffett's track record of success. Now, who is going to help these investors fill their vacant properties? You will. Now, let me share a little bit about myself. I don't have the usual rags to riches story, but I will say I grew up in a middle class neighborhood with supporting parents in the Baltimore, Maryland area. When I was in high school, I played numerous sports: football, basketball, baseball, track. But also in high school, my dad passed away from cancer, and my mom was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So I really needed to step up and be a model of success for my two younger siblings. I then proceeded to go to college and get a degree in information systems management. And when I graduated, I started working for a prominent government contracting company. But that wasn't it. I was still missing something, as I had dreams and aspirations of playing professional sports and living that lifestyle. And of course, those dreams never came true. So I found myself at 22 stuck in the rat race working a 9 to 5. I began taking action. I began reading every book in the library about real estate, and in 2006 began putting my money into real estate. As you can see in this slide, this is a copy of my first ever real estate check for over $90,000 back in 2006. All right. I then educated myself, went back to school, and got my master's of business administration to further educate my knowledge in business. So let me tell you a little bit about my real estate experience. I started off rehabbing properties, as you saw from my first check. I've rehabbed close to about 20 properties throughout the Baltimore City, and Anne Arundel County area, which is probably about 20 minutes away from Baltimore City, Baltimore County. I also met someone who I consider my mentor, who had a system that taught how to do wholesaling. So I bought the system. I learned how to do wholesaling properties, and actually on the screen right here, you'll see in 2008, I got my first wholesale fee, which was $1,720. Now, it wasn't a $10,000 or $5,000 check, but for 2.5 hours worth of work, I'll gladly make $1,700 every single day. Now, everything wasn't peaches and cream. I did have some hurdles encountered, and specifically, I remember my mom contacted me because someone got in contact with her when one of my rehabs in Baltimore City caught on fire. Yes, it caught on fire. It was about 85% complete. I had two other rehabs going on at the time. This property that caught on fire was about to go on the market in 2 weeks. And it really set me back and really made me question about me still wanting to continue doing real estate, because it did mess up my credit, and I wasn't able to rehab houses, which was predominantly the majority of my income that I was making back in the early 2008s, 2009s, and 2007s. So what happened was, probably about a year after the fire, I was down in the dumps. I was behind on my mortgage, but I reconnected with my mentor, who taught me wholesaling. And right then, he was telling me a lot of folks were buying properties from him, but they were now doing the buy and hold strategy, meaning they would purchase a property from a wholesaler, rehab it, and then refinance to take equity out to then rent that property out. So that right there created the need for flipping landlords. So let me tell you about how I discovered flipping landlords. I was meeting with my mentor about wholesaling properties in my marketplace when an investor called him asking my mentor if he had any tenants for his property that he just rehabbed for the buy and hold strategy. My mentor did not. He then asked me if I had any tenants looking for a home for rent. And I told him I did not, but I can assist with finding that investor a tenant. I then talked to the investor. He gave me permission to market his property. I made a post on MySpace, and 3 days later, and after 3 hours of work, I profited $750. That's right. I basically made $750 in 3 hours of work without even knowing what I was doing. That investor then gave me 5 other properties to rent out, which I successfully rented out in the next 2 weeks. After doing several flipping landlord deals, I then created a squeeze page website, which essentially had a video asking folks to put their name, email, and phone number in if they're looking for a property to rent. And within 10 months, I got over 2,500 subscribers with little to no marketing. Essentially, I was just putting my website at the bottom of posts from on Craigslist and Backpage and social media. I also built a landlord list. Currently, to date, my landlord list is over 500 landlords. And you have to understand, a lot of these landlords have multiple properties, a lot of them over 10 properties that I've helped them rent out. I also went ahead and built a team. I built a team of 7 folks that work solely on commission, along with having an office assistant. During this time with my team, we were doing on average 20 to 25 deals a month flipping landlords. In my marketplace, the Baltimore City County marketplace, the average rent amount is $1,000. So on a part-time basis, my flipping landlords business was bringing in a minimum of 20 grand a month. Think about that. Part-time, bringing in 20 grand a month just from having 7 folks working on my flipping landlords team. So let's get into, let's kind of like switch a little bit and get into about what you're going to discover to help teach you flipping landlords. So you're about to discover my secrets to flipping landlords, how I made $750 in 3 hours with no knowledge of how to even do flipping landlords. You're also going to learn how to profit without ownership and how to make an additional $3,000 to $10,000 a month part-time flipping landlords. So let's think. What can an extra $3,000 to $10,000 a month do for you? Can it buy you your dream car or help pay off your current car that you're currently driving? Or what about purchasing your dream home or help paying off your mortgage or even buying a rental property for your rental portfolio as a real estate investor? Or if you make an extra $3,000 to $10,000 a month, don't you think you can send your children to the finest schools and college institutions in America? Or what about going on vacations 2 to 3 or 4 times a year? That's certainly something that flipping landlords allows me to do, is go on 4 vacations every single year. So what is a landlord? A landlord is the owner of a house, apartment, condominium, land, or real estate which is rented or leased to an individual who is called a tenant. So let's compare wholesaling, because a lot of you on today's web class do wholesaling or have done wholesaling or have inquired to do wholesaling. So with wholesaling, there's the seller. With flipping landlords, there is the landlord. With wholesaling, there is the buyer. And with flipping landlords, there is the tenant. With wholesaling, you market to sellers and buyers. And flipping landlords, you market to tenant and landlords. So the same exact principles that you use in your marketing for buyers and sellers, you are going to use for tenants and landlords, and vice versa. With wholesaling, you get paid an assignment fee. All right, fee is very important because you do not get paid a commission. A commission means you represent someone. A fee means you get paid once the deal goes through and you do not represent anyone. Just like flipping landlords, you get paid a tenant placement fee. With flipping landlords, you do not represent the owner, as in the landlord, and you do not represent the tenant. You just put them together to help each other, meaning help that landlord find a qualified tenant and help that tenant find a home that is affordable for his and her family to move into. So did you know? Again, documentation beats conversation. Over 35% of homes nationwide are occupied by renters. A lot of the main cities have close to a 50% tenant occupancy, if not higher. Some of the main cities I'm talking about: Brooklyn, New York. 73% of homes in Brooklyn are rented out. In Miami, Florida, 65% of homes are rented out. In Oakland, California, 59% of homes are rented out. And in my marketplace, the Baltimore area, 51% are rented out. So a lot of, and a nice little tidbit, a lot of landlords do not even live in the state of their rental property. So they're definitely going to need your assistance with renting out their property. Realtors do not help. You may be asking yourself, well, why don't they just call a realtor? Well, because realtors can make over 5 times the amount with a buyer or seller than with a renter. So let's look at some numbers. If you were renting out a property that costs $1,000, the realtor would only make $350, and this is why. For one, because they are a realtor, they represent someone. So they represent either the tenant or the property owner. They cannot represent both. So therefore, they're going to split that $1,000, and now it's $500. Not only that, they would have to pay their broker. Their broker meaning like Long and Foster. I talked about Berkshire Hathaway. You know, things like that. Those are brokers, and they're going to have to pay their broker a 30% fee from doing a deal under their umbrella. So that's going to cost them $150. Therefore, they're only going to make $350. Now, let's take that same blueprint and apply it to an agent or realtor selling a home for $100,000. Now, depending on your marketplace, that may be a lot of money, or that may be peanuts compared to what's actually out there. So if they're selling a home for $100,000 with a 3% commission, the realtor will then take in $3,000. They'll owe their broker 30%, which is $900, and the realtor would make $2,100. So for the same time marketing a property, they'll make $2,100 instead of $350. So this is why realtors do not help, and this is why you can assist folks with helping rent out their property. I want to talk about a couple deals just so you can see the simplicity of how these deals come about. I call this a referral deal. This was actually a referral from a high school reunion that I went to. A buddy of mine, I was telling him about my business. He told me about a coworker that he got a new job about 45 minutes away from where their current job was and wanted to rent out their property. So this was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home. I marketed it starting on a Tuesday. I sent out all my marketing out, and I scheduled a mini open house from 11 to 1 on that Saturday. Rents in the area were going from $1,100 to $1,300. I was marketing it at $1,400. I had about 5 people show up to the open house. 3 people were interested, collected the applications. 1 person got approved, and I made $1,350 in less than 3 hours worth of work. So just by talking to old classmates at my high school reunion, I made $1,300. Don't you think by just talking to your friends that you can make $1,300? Or what if just by talking to your friends you can? I mean, isn't that fantastic? I call this a lunch break deal. This is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath townhome. As you can see from the picture, there's actually a gutter that's kind of broken on the house next door. Well, rents in the area were going from $900 to $1,050. Well, I call this a lunch break deal because I had a lady, after I started marketing it, and I showed it a couple times, and a lady came on her lunch break to look at the property because she, worked in the area and she's familiar with the area. She liked it. She filled out an application, and just from showing this property during her lunch break, I made $1,000. Now, even if you are working full-time and you schedule a showing at a property during your lunch break, don't you think it's worth it to, go out and show a property and make $1,000 during your lunch break? That's awesome, isn't it? You basically have lunch for the next 2 months paid for just by going out and making $1,000 during your lunch break. I call this the happy hour deal. This was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath townhome, And you can actually see in this PowerPoint that yellow sign, that yellow thing in the window is my sign. All right, basically it says house for rent, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, $900, call, and it has my phone number. And I remember I got this from a hard money lender that I used to use when funding my rehabs. And I reached out to everyone when I started flipping landlords, and I let this lender know what I was doing. And this was one of the properties that they gave me to market. So I got this property on a Thursday. I put the sign up. That same evening, someone called and lived in the 500 block of the same street. Now, this property is in the 700 block. They were familiar with the area, and I called the happy hour deal because a good friend of mine who has a 9 to 5 just got promoted. And on Friday, I was supposed to meet with him and his co-workers at a local establishment to celebrate, at happy hour. Well, I didn't make it because I showed this property instead. This person filled out an application, and I made $900 instead of going to happy hour. So let me ask you, would you skip happy hour to make $900? Of course you would. Of course, because you can treat drinks the next time. I mean, this is a no-brainer. $900 instead of going to happy hour. What I'm now going to teach you are the 5 simple steps to doing a flipping landlord's deal. The first step, tell everyone about your business. You saw how I made a $90,000 in real estate from talking to a coworker when I was working for a government contractor. You saw how I made other money in real estate from referrals from old classmates. Tell everyone about your business. Tell your mom, your dad, your cousins, your nephews, your aunts. You want to tell your coworkers if you have a full-time job, or even if you have a part-time job. You want to talk about your business at Thanksgiving dinner, during Christmas time, during cookouts, during graduation, family functions. You want to let everyone know about your business so they can refer people to you. Second step, you want to contact owners with homes available for rent. How many of you have rode by a house in the last couple days and seen a for rent sign? Well, now when you see one, pull over, jot down the address and the contact phone number, and call them and let them know about your flipping landlord's business. The third step, once you get a property, you want to market that home. Now, these are all free advertising websites that I have here on this slide. All right. There's Postlet, Zillow, Craigslist, email, YouTube. When you get a property, you want to take pictures and even shoot a video. So therefore, you can put your pictures on these websites, download your video on YouTube, and you'll be surprised how many people will find your video on YouTube and contact you. Also, if you already have tenants interested, you can email them the properties that you just accumulated in the last week. So the third step, market the home to prospective tenants. Fourth step, when tenants see the pictures and the videos, they're going to call you. Trust me, tenants will call you. I showed you how I had over 2,500 folks sign up on my website just by having my website present in online ads. So when they call you, you want to set up a time to show the tenants the property. If they're interested in the property, have them fill out an application, collect their pay information, and you're going to run a background check on that prospective tenant. Background check would include, just a credit check. Zillow offers that. There's a lot of other servers that offers that if you just use Google to do a credit background check. Once that's complete, you put all that information, send to the property owner, and last but not least, once they are approved, you are going to do the lease signing. At the lease signing, you're going to collect all money, and then once the lease is signed, all money is collected. You will then give the tenant the keys to their newly rented house and, of course, congratulate them and be excited for them. Now, you may ask, well, how much money do I collect? Or, well, what is my fee? Essentially, you want to collect the first month's rent and security deposit. So if the house is renting for $1,000, you are going to collect $2,000. Now, your fee, because this is your business, can be anything. The fee that I charge property owners is the first month's rent, which is equal to the security deposit. So, in the example of the $1,000 rent, I'm going to collect $2,000 and my fee will be $1,000, and I will give the property owner the signed lease and $1,000 for the security deposit. Now, if your market dictates that rents are $2,500, you are going to collect $5,000 from that prospective tenant, and your fee would be $2,500 as the first month's rent, and you would give the owner the signed rental agreement and the $2,500 security deposit. And that's it. You're done. On to the next deal. 5 simple steps to flipping landlords. So I want to talk about some people who took action. This is Tony Smith. When I met Tony, he was a property owner and had issues with his properties. He was kind of behind on their mortgage. He got bad tenants. He was just in a pretty bad situation. Well, I taught him the flipping landlord's business, and within 3 months, Tony was doing 7 to 9 flipping landlord deals a month. That's right, 7 to 9 flipping landlord deals a month. He was pulling in well over 7 grand in profits every single month from flipping landlords. He was full-time flipping landlords. Now, flipping landlords, I call it a grassroots real estate strategy. And I say that because when you start flipping landlords, there are so many other opportunities that you can learn and grow and build from just from flipping landlords. For example, Tony now is a property manager because when he was doing flipping landlords, property owners from out of state, they wanted someone to manage their properties. So Tony created a property management company. Not only that, because he had a property management company, and because other owners, knew who he was, because he was helping them place tenants, qualified tenants on a, very successful basis. When those tenants, after a year or two, they stopped paying rent, they needed to be evicted. Tony also has an eviction business and a cleaning business. So when someone is getting evicted, he will do that eviction process. And when they vacate, he will clean out the property for that owner. And of course, for a fee. And to be totally transparent, if Tony is in my marketplace, when I have evictions, I actually call Tony to do those for me. So just telling you, flipping landlords is a grassroots real estate strategy, one of the most simple real estate strategies that, in my opinion, I've ever come across. Another success story. This is Corey with his lovely wife, Lakeisha. When I met Corey, he was full-time employed, and he actually worked part-time being a head JV basketball coach. He then quit his JV basketball coach job because he wanted to, when you're coaching sports in the high school level, it's very rare that you're paid a nice amount of money. You almost do it for the love of the game, and just to help out kids. And Corey, he loved helping out kids because he is a teacher to special ed students in middle school. So he met me, I taught him the flipping landlord system, and within his first 3 months, he did 5 flipping landlord deals part-time. So in less than 3 months, he made over $5,000. So let me ask you, could you use an extra $1,500 a month part-time flipping landlords? Or how about an extra $5,000 every 3 months? Exactly. Very simple process. I mean, an extra $5,000 over 3 months equates to an extra $20,000 per year. Could you use an extra $20,000 per year? Of course you can, because I know I can. Corey still flips landlords. He's a part-time flipping landlords because he loves teaching, and he's still full-time employed as a teacher. But because of flipping landlords, he got married, and once he was married, him and his wife were having twins. That extra income allowed him to, instead of being a renter, to purchase his first house with him and his wife just because of that extra $1,000 to $3,000 coming in every month from flipping landlords. So I have a question to ask. Will you be my next success story? If you answered yes, then I'm going to show you my system in a couple seconds here. But if you answered no, and this is not for you, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to just log off this web class, and good luck with, your real estate training. Here it is, inside my system. It is all online. You can receive a password, all of that login information, numerous documents, countless hours of video training, videos for you to listen to, conference calls for you to listen to. So let's get inside of what is in the system and what you will get. You will receive my bulletproof contracts from landlords that my attorneys have reviewed and drafted. You'll also receive my application documents that I use, the interviews with property owners that I have done business with, video training on lease signing, live right in front of you lease training, video training on how to market to landlords and tenants, the very in-depth knowledge that you're going to need to be successful. This all is a total value of $1,449. So what else do you need? I'm pretty sure you're like, that can't be it. You're probably asking, well, how do I get started? Or what do I say when I call a landlord or a tenant? Or I need help screening tenants? Or how can technology help me? So listen, this is also included a quick start 10-day training program to get you started making money as soon as possible. Also, the step-by-step processes that I continue to use and the ones that I have used to create a six-figure income part-time flipping landlords. Not to mention, you're getting information on how to properly screen tenants, as well as call scripts for tenants and property owners. Also, you're going to receive how to use modern technology for your business. I can literally run my flipping landlord's business from my cell phone, and I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing as well. This is all a total value of $1,179. Now, again, documentation beats conversation. This article is from Bloomberg Business, and the title reads, Boomers Competing with Millennials for U.S. Urban Rental Housing. What that means is folks that are retired and receiving their pension, they are now selling their house to rent because they don't want to put up with, having to repair things, and they just want to cash out and live life. So not only are people who just graduated from college and are getting their first house, or middle class families all over across America looking for rental properties, but folks that are retired are also looking for properties for rent. So your market ranges from anywhere from 18, 19 years old to 70 years old. I mean, you cannot beat that wide range of folks interested in doing business with flipping landlords. Here's more information. The median rent across the 50 largest U.S. cities. As you can see, a lot of these major cities, San Fran, a one-bedroom median rent, $3,400. Washington, D.C., it's $2,000. If you scroll back down to the bottom of Virginia Beach, $950. This is just for one bedroom per month in the median of across the 50 largest U.S. cities. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you that information and my Flipping Landlords Rent Report just for staying on this Flipping Landlords web class this long. I want to reward you for sticking here and learning this information because I want you to be successful. So let's talk about another success story. This is Relicia. She purchased the Flipping Landlord system. She has been a successful wholesaler in the DMV area. DMV meaning DC, Maryland, Virginia marketplace. She also works full time. She works as in a leasing office with a huge company that rents about 300 units for a building. So she's a little bit familiar with what to do. In her first 60 days, she made $1,200. So let me ask you, if you made $1,200 every 2 months, would this be worth it? How about if it's just $1,000 every 2 months, meaning $500 every month? Does that sound like this is something you can do and it's worth your time just for a couple hours of work? Relicia does an average of one deal a month now that she's learned the system. So her marketplace is mainly the Prince George's DC marketplace. The average rents in that area, as you saw from the one bedroom, and you're going to get in the rental report, is around $1,500. So she is cashing out with this flipping landlord system and doing a fantastic job changing her lifestyle. This is another success story. This is Derek Majette. He purchased the flipping landlord system. Again, he's a successful wholesaler in the Maryland marketplace, which is my marketplace. Not only that, Derek is a freshman in college. He attends the University of Baltimore, with his major being real estate, of course. In his first 60 days, he made $1,900 and had 3 other deals pending to close in that next month. Think about that. He's a freshman in college who has a full workload, does wholesaling on the side, and still has enough time that in his first 60 days, he made $950 per month on average. If a freshman in college can do this, don't you think you can do this? What if you didn't even go to college? Don't you think this is attainable for you? Think about that. Combined with his wholesaling and flipping landlords, he brings in about 10 grand a month profit. He does about 2 deals per month flipping landlords, which is an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month he's bringing in as a freshman in college. He makes more money than a lot of people who work a 9 to 5 do, and he goes to school. So let me just backtrack and let you know what the system includes. As I mentioned before, the contracts for landlords, the application documents, interviews with owners, video training on lease signing, and video training with marketing to tenants and landlords, all of value $1,449. You also get the 10-day quick start training, business processes, screening tenants, calling scripts, how to use technology for your business, a value of $1,179. But not to mention, this is a total value of $2,628. But do you still need something else? I'm asking you because I'm offering. Do you? Do you need something else? How about coaching? 30 days of coaching included with the system. So what comes with the 30 days of coaching? You're going to get weekly conference calls, live weekly conference calls. We are going to discuss topics, and also at the end have a Q&A session. You're going to be able to ask calls right to me. These conference calls are going to be recorded, and you're going to receive the information to listen to these conference calls forever. Also, email support. You are going to be able to email me 24/7 and get a response from me. Now, if you're emailing me at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday night, I can't guarantee you I'm going to respond within within an hour. But I will get back to you because it's all about you being successful. Not to mention group chat support. That's the new thing. Everyone likes texting. Well, imagine being on a group chat with people who are doing deals, as well as you asking questions to me and helping me assist you doing deals with others giving input from their experience. Also, you are also going to get a one-on-one fast track strategy session with me. So you're going to get a 30-minute one-on-one conversation after you have gone through the system between a week and 2 weeks. Including this, you can be asked any questions that you ever have about flipping landlords. Also, this call, I will record it to send to you to listen to in the future. So, one-on-one fast track strategy session with yours truly. One more time. What you're going to get: contracts, app docs, interviews with owners, video training on lease signing, and video training with marketing to tenants and landlords. Value $1,449. Also the 10-day quick start training, business processes, screening tenants, calling scripts, how to use technology for your business, of value $1,179. 30 days of coaching included, a value of $397. And then not to mention the one-on-one fast track strategy session, a value of $497. A total real world value of $3,522. Now, because you have stayed on this webinar and web class so long, I am going to slash that price. And today only, your price is $1,497. So I'm giving you, just for staying on here, listening, and just by learning for the past hour, you are saving $2,025. So think about this. For an investment of $1,497, if all that did was allow you to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month in addition to your current income every single month this year, would it be worth it? Or how about if it allowed you to start a college fund or pay for higher education for your children? Would flipping landlords in the $1,497 investment be worth it? Or if all it did was allowed you to give the time and freedom to travel and spend more time with your family and friends, would investing in flipping landlords, would it be worth it? But what if it allowed you to replace your income and allowed you to quit your job? Would it be worth it? One more time, what you're going to get: contracts, app docs, interviews with owners, video training, lease signing, just everything. Okay, the 10-day quick start training, business processes, screen tenants, calling scripts, how to use technology, 30 days of coaching, one-on-one strategy session, $1,497. I'm even going to take it down a little bit more, just for rewarding you for wanting to take action. So today only, your price is $297, meaning you will save an additional $1,200. Now, $297 may be a stretch for some of you all. All right, you're working hard, the economy's kind of tough, you're providing for your family. Well, how about getting the flipping landlord system for free with no payments for 6 months? That's right. PayPal has a system where you can get PayPal credit for no payments and no interest for 6 months. So by the time you're paying your PayPal back, you're already making deals flipping landlords. Not only that, but today only, when you sign up and pay for the flipping landlord system, you will receive my flipping landlords manual, a value of $97, absolutely free. This manual has in-depth step-by-step content that will help you flip landlords immediately. So once again, my Flipping Landlords limited offer today is only $297. It is all online. As long as you are living, you will have access to this online system to make money whenever you would like. So it was a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to teach you the Flipping Landlords web class. For those of you who are on the fence, kind of, a little pessimistic, you can follow me at fliplandlords.com, where I provide a lot of information on flipping landlords, as well as visiting me on the web, www.flippinglandlords.com. For those of you who signed up, I'm ecstatic. I'm looking forward to our fast track strategy session to helping you be successful, because when you're successful, I'm successful. So this is Eric, the Flipping Landlords King, thanking you for joining my web class, and I'll be talking with you soon.